blocks, a bolster or a pillow, and if you'd like, and if you'd like a strap as well. We're going to do more of a restorative yoga this morning. So finding your child's pose, drawing your knees wide, toes to touch, sinking your hips back towards your heels, fingertips spread out long, just gently resting your forehead on the floor or on a block. Actively stretching your fingertips long towards the top of your mat, pressing your hips towards your heels. Focusing here on your breath, deep inhales, deep exhales. Filling your belly, ribs, and lungs. Full exhale, lungs, ribs, and belly. Continuing with that breath. If you're just joining us, welcome, good morning. Set of blocks, a bolster or a pillow, and a strap is optional if you would like it. Just finding your child's pose. This time, after your full exhale, fill your belly, ribs, and lungs. Hold at the top, sealing your lips, and exhaling through your nose. Building heat within your body. Slowly and gently walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Hands to the right, hips to the left, feeling that stretch all along the side body. And all go. On your inhale, walk your hands back through center. This time over to the left side of your mat, maybe slightly off of your mat. Fingertips long to the left, hips towards the right. Feeling the side stretch all along this side body. On your next inhale, gently walk your hands back to center. Tempting your fingers, lifting your palms off the floor, pressing your finger pads into the ground. Feeling the stretch in your shoulders. Release your palms back down to the floor. Bend your elbows, bringing your palms to touch. Option to hold here at the crown of your head. You can also draw your thumbs towards the nape of your neck. Maybe walking your elbows towards the crown of your head. Continuing to focus on your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. On your next exhale, don't release your palms down to the floor. Rolling your head side to side. And then gently press yourself up, coming to a tabletop position. Wrists under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. We're going to tuck our toes. Lift your belly, lift your gaze, hammock your belly down towards the floor. Deep inhale, coming into cow. On your exhale, scoop and arch. Round your spine, untuck your toes. Bringing your gaze towards the tops of your thighs. Come through neutral spine, tuck your toes, deep inhale. Belly button towards the floor, spiral your elbow creases in. On your exhale, scoop and arch. Round your spine up towards the ceiling. Gaze towards the tops of your thighs. One more time through. Inhale, tuck your toes, lift your gaze. Exhale, coming into cat. Come back to a neutral spine. You can tuck or keep your toes flat, just bumping your hips side to side. and any organic movement that feels comfortable for you today. Come back to a neutral spine. Reach your right arm high towards the ceiling. Exhale, under and through the left side body. Inhale, lift right arm high. Exhale, reach it under and through the left side body. Inhale, lift. This time on the exhale, reach it all the way under and through. Maybe releasing your right ear or cheek to the floor. You can also bring it down to a block or that bolster or pillow. You're welcome to keep your left hand boxed out under your left shoulder or extend that left arm long out in front. You can also bind that left hand around towards your right waist, opening up your left shoulder. You're also welcome to extend your left leg straight back, just like a kickstand. Have your left arm or leg extended or binded. Go ahead and release your left knee under your left hip. Place your left hand under your left shoulder. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. From here, extend your left leg straight back, point your toes. Draw your knee to your elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left leg comes over to the right side body. Inhale, lengthen straight back. Exhale, knee to the same elbow. Inhale, kick it straight back. Exhale, draw that left leg over the right side body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw it over the right side body. Holding here and breathing, keeping that left leg straight. If you'd like to deepen that sensation, try pressing your heel closer towards the floor, gently rocking your body backwards. If you'd like to lessen that sensation, gently rock onto the ball of your feet towards your toes. On your next inhale, lift that left leg high and draw it all the way over to the left side, coming into gate pose. I'm just going to turn and face you guys. You have a bend in that leg as you extend it over or keep it straight. Sealing the inner left part of your foot onto the floor, tuck your right toes, pressing your hips back and forward, rocking your shoulders back over your wrist, tucking your right toes, pressing your right hip back towards your right heel and forward once more. Gently rock up, walk your hands towards your right knee, rise up, arms sweep up high overhead, cactus your arms, lift your gaze, spread your fingertips wide. Inhale, lengthen, once more, bend the elbows, lift your gaze. Inhale, lengthen, release your right hand down to the floor or to a block, left arm comes up high overhead. Side triangle. Inhale, lengthen, arms overhead. Exhale, release your left hand down the outside of your left leg. Right arm comes up high overhead, right bicep to right ear. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release your right hand down to the floor. This time, release your left bicep to your left ear, stretching long past the crown of your head. Hold it for the exhale. Inhale, lengthen, using your core to rise. Exhale, release your left hand down the left side of your leg. Really extend that right arm over towards your left toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Release your hands back down to the floor and walk your hands out to that tabletop position. From here, we're going to lift that left leg again, draw it up and over the outer right leg, and just gazing, looking over back to that stretch. Inhale, lengthen, kick the left leg straight back. Exhale, draw your left knee to your nose and step it through your palms. You're welcome to place your hands on a block on either side of your left foot, or just your hand on the inside of your left foot or a block. Inhale, lift your left arm high. Circle out your left wrist. Circle out your shoulder, maybe forwards and backwards. Exhale, tap your left hand to your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen once more. Exhale, tap. And inhale. Release your left hand down to the outside of your left leg, stepping your left leg back. Keep your left knee bent and draw a few circles with your left hip. Reversing that direction. Using your left knee to meet your right. Bump your hips side to side, forwards and backwards. Maybe add in some barrel rolls here. Just how we started. And of course, what you do in one direction, do in the opposite direction. Coming back to a tabletop position, stacking your wrists under your shoulders if you have them extended, knees under your hips. Or lift your left arm high, deep inhale. Exhale, reach your left arm under and through the right side body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach it under and through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach your left arm all the way under and through the right side body. Option to place your left ear or cheek on the floor. Maybe placing it onto a block or that pillow. You're welcome to keep your right hand boxed out under your right shoulder. You can also extend it out long or bind your right hand around towards your left hip, allowing your right shoulder to open. You can also extend your right leg straight back. Your hips remain square. Holding here and breathing. Your right arm and right leg. So then go ahead and release them back under your shoulder and your hip. Inhale, lengthen, left arm high. Exhale, release your left arm under your left shoulder. Extend your right leg straight back, point your toes. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw that right leg over the left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen, straight back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen, rainbow that right leg up and over, super high, over to the outer left hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw it over. Holding here and breathing. You can rock your hips back, pressing the heel in towards the floor, or rocking onto your toes. Full exhale. On your next inhale, rainbow that right leg all the way over from the right hip. Planting the inside of your right foot into the floor, tucking your left toes, still with your wrists under your shoulders. Press your hips back. Rock forward, shoulders stacked over your wrist. Press it back. And rock it forward. Once more, press it back. And rock it forward. With your hips over your knee, gently walk your hands in towards your left knee. Keep your arms up high overhead. Give me one cactus, bend your elbows, lift your gaze. Inhale to rise. Left hand down to the floor. Right arm sweeps up. Option to lift that right leg if you like, or keep it sealed to the floor. Inhale, rise. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Exhale, right hand down your right leg. Left bicep to left ear. Hold it for the exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, left hand down to the floor or to a block. This time, sweep your right arm high past the crown of your head. Right bicep to right ear. Really feeling that stretch all along the right side body. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweep your right hand down. Really bend over that right side body. Inhale, lengthen, arms overhead. Draw your hands to heart center. Gently fold forward, walking your hands out under your shoulders. Inhale, lift that right leg high, all the way over back to that rainbow, back to the outer left hip. Maybe gently looking over your left shoulder. Maybe pressing your heel closer towards the floor if that feels comfortable for you this morning. Inhale, lengthen, kick your right leg straight back. Exhale, draw your right knee to your nose and step it through your palms. Option to place your hands on those blocks on either side of your right foot or just on the inside. Inhale, lengthen your right arm high. Circle out your wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and backwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap right hand to left wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, release your right arm high. Exhale, release your right hand down your right shoulder or the block. Extend your right leg back, keep it bent. Draw a few hip circles with your right knee. And reverse. Gently placing your right knee under your right hip. Grab your blocks under each hand and then gently walk your hands towards your knees, placing the blocks by your ankles inside or outside. I'll place this on the inside so you all can see. Inhale, rise, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus, bend your elbows, lift your gaze. Really spread your fingertips wide, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your right hand to your lower back, to that block, your heel or the floor, pressing your hips forward. Left arm stays high. Gaze can remain forward or gently up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen, right arm high. Exhale, release your left hand to your lower back, the block, your heel or the floor, actively pressing your hips forward. Right arm remains high. Gaze can be forward or up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen. One more time each side. Exhale, release your right hand to your lower back, that block, heel or floor. Actively press your hips forward even more this time. Exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale, left hand down. Pressing your hips forward. Now lengthen. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Grab those blocks. Gently set them off to the side. And move them all the way out of here so they're out of the way. We're going to come back to our child's pose. So drawing your knees wide, toes to touch, sinking your hips in towards your heels. Extend your arms out long in front. Just resting your forehead gently on the floor. Coming back to your breath, maybe rocking side to side. With your arms extended out long, rise up. Keep your knees planted, wrists planted, and rock until your shoulders are stacked over your wrist. Your knees are bent, heels in towards your glutes. Elbows stay tucked in. We're going to slowly lower for 3, 2, and 1. Once you release down, extend your legs, tap the floor, bend your knees, draw your heels into your glutes. We're going to rise up, elbows stay tucked in for 3, 2, and 1. Gently press your hips back, coming back to your child's pose. So your knees and wrists are grounded to the floor. Make sure your knees are on that mat to protect your knees. 2 more times. Inhale, rise. Shoulders stacked over your hips, heels into your glutes. Exhale, slowly lower for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once you release all the way down, extend your legs, tap the floor, bend your knees, heels into your glutes, pressing up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the elbows, press your hips back. Lean back to your child's pose. Hold till exhale. One more time. Inhale to rise. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, heels into your glutes. This time lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing it all the way down. Tap your legs. This time hold your legs and we're going to lift and lower for 3. Release. 2. Release. Last one. Tapping the toes down. Bend your knees, heels to your glutes. Press up slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press your hips back towards your heels. Coming back to your child's pose. Back to your breath. Maybe rocking your hips side to side if that's comfortable for you. Gently rise up to a tabletop. Grab that bolster or pillow and long ways alongside your mat. Go ahead and place it onto the mat. Draw your left hip up towards the bolster or pillow and then gently lay down, just hugging the pillow, coming into recline, sleeping deer. You can stack your knees. You can stagger your knees top below the bottom. You can also draw your bottom knee down, left knee on top, and just gently relaxing your left ear on the bolster or pillow. You can hug that pillow. You can draw your arms out wide to a T. You can also bend your elbows, palms facing down. Holding here for one more breath. And then gently rotating your right ear towards the floor. Maybe bringing your chin to the to the pillow or the bolster. Or if you'd like a deeper stretch, gently placing your right ear or cheek onto that bolster. Gently placing your hands on your shoulders, pressing yourself up, and just switching sides, keeping that bolster pillow just where it's at, and then drawing your right hip in towards the bottom edge of that bolster. You can stagger or stack your legs, and then gently folding down, hugging that pillow in any fashion. You can tee up the arms. You can tee out one arm. You can cactus, bending that elbow, palm facing down. Just gently relaxing with your right ear or cheek on the floor. Next full exhale, gently rotate your chin or your left cheek or ear to the pillow. Next inhale, gently place your hands under your shoulders, pressing yourself up. We're gonna lay all the way onto our stomach, so you can keep that pillow just where it is and just lay on it. You can also set it off to the side and not lay on any pillow at all. You can cross your palms one over the other. You can also extend your arms out to a T. From here, just with your chin on the floor, gently draw your right knee up towards your right shoulder, your right rib cage. Maybe placing your left ear on the floor. Blind half frog. You can also switch sides, placing your opposite ear or shoulder on the floor. And gently come back to center, releasing your right knee straight back under your hip. And then gently drawing your left knee up towards your left shoulder, left rib cage. Relaxing the right side. You're welcome to bring your left or right ear onto the pillow or the floor. If you'd like, now is a good time to switch ears. Gently come back to center, release your right foot straight down from your left hip. Press yourself up. We're going to set that bolster or pillow off to the side. Go ahead and grab 1 or 2 blocks, and we're going to have a seat on the block. You can also just have a seat on the floor. Having a seat on the block really allows your hips to open up. You can do crisscross applesauce, soles of your feet together, right over left, left over right, whichever is more comfortable for you. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweep your right hand down to the floor or to a block. Left bicep to left ear. Curl your hands down to the left side, left hand to the floor or to a block. Right bicep to right ear. Curl your right hand down to the floor. Left bicep to left ear. Bend your left elbow, cactus. And extend. Gently rotate looking towards your right hand, drawing your left pinky towards your right thumb. They don't have to come into contact. Hold that extension of your left arm and gently draw it wide out in front. Release your left hand down to the floor to a block. Sweep your right arm high, right bicep to right ear. Exhale, bend your elbow. Inhale, extend. As you extend, gently rotate over that left hand, drawing your right pinky towards your left thumb. And release it all the way out in front. Sweep your arms up high. Exhale, release your left hand to the outside of your right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale to rise. Exhale, cactus, lift your gaze. One more time. Inhale to rise. Exhale, bend the elbows. Really spread your fingertips wide. Draw your elbows down. Inhale, lift. Hands to heart center. Gently rock to the left or right side if you have that block, releasing it off to the side. You can still keep that block, one or two with you. We're going to extend the right leg, drawing the sole of your left foot inside your right leg. If you would like, you can place a block underneath your right knee. You can just keep that right knee bent or keep it straight. This is a great opportunity to use your strap if you'd like. It's not tangled up like mine is. And you can gently pull that strap around the arch of your foot, lengthen your spine, and pulling the crown of your head towards your toes. Elbows are wide. You can also release your hands to the back side of your foot or placing a block behind your foot and folding forward. That right knee can be bent or straight, using a block in any variation, maybe using a strap. Deepen the sensation. You can gently rock your left shoulder, left elbow towards the floor on the inside of that right leg. Gently rise up. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Hands to heart center, switching sides. Extend your left leg long, draw the sole of your right foot inside that left leg. Same options here. You can bend your left knee, placing a block gently under your left knee. You can also just hold your left leg bent. Sweeping your arms up high, folding forward with or without that strap around the arch of your foot. Pulling the crown of your head towards your toes. You can also place a block to deepen that stretch behind your foot. One side feels different than the other. If you would like to deepen this stretch, you can gently rotate your right shoulder, right elbow down towards the floor inside your left leg. Holding here and breathing. On your inhale, gently rise up. Keep that left leg just for a dot. Extend the right leg wide. Seated wide leg straddle. Option to grab one block in each hand. My one's a little bit further away from my reach, so I'll just show you with one. You can also just walk out with your hands. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to bring that earth closer to you. You can walk yourself out with or without those blocks, folding forward, keeping both hips onto the floor. Maybe drawing your forearms down towards the floor. You can also stay more upright if that's comfortable. Side to side. And then walking your hands over to the left side. Remain on the floor. Walking your hands back through center. Over to the right side. Maybe framing your right foot. Maybe both hands are on the outside of your right leg or on the inside. Both hips remain in contact with the floor. Walking your hands back to center. And then walking your hands back and towards your hips. Draw your knees together and come onto the long side of your mat. So we're going to place one block between our thighs, and if you have a second one, you can place it between your palms or just pretend. Feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. You can also extend your legs out long. You can also hover your shins into a boat pose. Any variation, arms out long with or without that block, imaginary or real. We're going to slowly roll back, drawing your navel into your spine using your lower abs, rolling slow and controlled. Think the slower, the better, one vertebrae at a time. Squeeze your thighs together, holding that block in place. Releasing your shoulders all the way down. Once your back is fully on the floor, gently tap that block overhead. And then we're going to rise up, draw that block back overhead. Maybe imaginary block, gently roll up. Using your upper abs here. Rolling up slow and controlled. Once you get to the top, shoulders stacked over your hips, raise your arms overhead. And forward, we're going to roll back. Last time, I promise. Use those lower abs, draw your navel into your spine. Think about trying to bring that waistband of your pants down to the floor first, and then each vertebrae up towards your neck, one at a time. Once you come all the way onto the floor, arms stacked over your shoulders, tap that block overhead, drop back over your shoulders, and gently set that block off to the side, keeping the block between your thighs. Just resting your hands by your hips, palms facing down. Walk your feet slowly in towards your heels, in towards your hips. From here, feet are planted. Inhale, lift. Shoulders, everything lifted. Squeeze that block. And lower. Inhale, lift. Imagine you're trying to tap your hips towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Holding those hips high, shoulders are lifted. We're going to hold it here for 5. Last 2. And 1. Gently, slowly lower down all the way to the floor. Once your hips come into contact, release that block from your knees. Keep it off to the side, close by. Curl your knees into your chest. Curl yourself into a tiny ball. Chin to chest. You can grab opposite wrists, opposite elbows. You can also grab the back side of your thighs between your calves and your hamstrings. Maybe rolling side to side if that's comfortable for you. Keep your knees into your chest and gently release your shoulders to the floor. Let's start with the left side. Extend your right leg long, draw your left knee in towards your left shoulder, gently clasping on your left shin beneath your knee, and trying to avoid your rib cage. So drawing that left knee up and over to the left shoulder. Maybe point, flex, circle out that left ankle, left toes. Flexing your right foot, pressing your right calf into the floor. If you would like an active stretch, tuck your chin to your chest, hover that right leg. Gently releasing your right leg and shoulder if you have them lifted. With your right hand, grab the outside of your left knee, gently releasing your left hand by your left hip, and gently and slowly draw that left knee over to the right side body. Maybe gently gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Full body twist. That left knee can tap the floor. You can rest it on a block or the pillow. Or you can have it just hovering in space. Maybe twisting deeper with each exhale. Option to extend that left arm to a T, palm facing up. You can bend your left elbow, opening your shoulder. Gently come back to center. Draw your left knee in towards your left shoulder and draw in a few circles with your left hip. And then reverse. Right knee in towards your right shoulder. Tuck your chin to your chest. Hover your right leg, point your right toes, and switch. Drawing your right knee in towards your right shoulder, left leg long to a hover, point your left toes, and switch. And switch. 2 more. Left leg in, right leg long. Right leg in, left leg long. This time release your left foot, flex your left toes, draw your left hip down, your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Shoulders are pressing towards the floor. Maybe point, flex, circle out your right foot, right ankle. Trying to avoid your right rib cage, so really drawing that right knee up and over to your right shoulder. You are welcome to stay here. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, make it more active, tuck your chin to your chest and hover your left leg. Left toes are still flexed. You're still welcome to point, flex, circle out that right foot. Shoulders are lifted. Lift your shoulders and your left leg if you had them lifted. With your left hand, grab the outside of your right knee. Gently release your right hand by your right hip and slowly pulling your right knee across the left side of your body. Maybe gazing, looking over your right shoulder. You can extend that right arm long to a T. You can also bend your elbow, palm facing up, opening up your shoulder. Welcome to place that right knee on the floor, on a block or a pillow, maybe just hovering in space. Supine twist on the right side. On your next inhale, come back to center, keeping your right knee in towards your right shoulder and just drawing a few circles with your right knee. And reversing the direction. Draw both knees back in towards your chest and extend your feet up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to hold the back side of your thighs. You can grab the outside of your feet. You can also place a strap around either foot. I'm pulling the strap, coming into happy baby, any variation, maybe rolling side to side, releasing your lower back. If you'd like, you can come into ninja baby, extending one leg and bending the other. Of course, what you do on one side, just repeat on the other. Going to a wide leg straddle, both legs extended wide. You're welcome to bring the soles of the feet to touch. And bending your knees, gently draw your knees back in towards one another, releasing your feet flat on the floor. Grab one block and on its lowest setting, lift your hips and place the block under your hips, gently releasing your hips down. Noticing how you feel by placing your hips on that block. Gently releasing one leg at a time up towards the ceiling, supported legs up the wall. You can also release your hands, point, flex, circle out your ankles, your wrist. Slowly lowering one leg at a time or both together. You're welcome to stay just like this with your knees bent. You can also extend one leg, keeping the other bent. Maybe extending both legs. If you have one or both legs extended, go ahead and bend your knees, drawing your feet back under your knees, lifting your hips, setting that block off to the side. Extending both legs out long, drawing your heels together, toes ball open, palms by your side, palms facing up to receive. You can also come into recline, draw the soles of the feet to touch, butterfly your knees open. May bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, any resting position that's comfortable for you today. Finding your Shavasana. Starting with wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Curling yourself into a ball. Roll into your left or right side. You can prop your lower hand out long, just resting your cheek or ear onto that arm. Pressing yourself up to a seated position. Or your arms up high overhead. Hands to heart center. Awesome work this morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you have a fabulous day, great weekend. Thank you all again for allowing me to share my practice with you. Namaste.